Hello.
How's it going?
Hey.
Hey,
Do
I've
this.
I've just been informed that the Hangout says it starts at 9:15, which probably explains why the invitation things were weird. But all
I
right.
didn't even get it. Oh, because of course I didn't get an invitation because it gets sent to the Gmail. Right. That's
Oh, did
why.
it?
Yeah.
That must be why you didn't get it last time.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I think you should be able to present even though, because I added you manually. So even though you didn't get the invitation, I think that you should be able to do it. So I
Yeah.
mean, what's
Yeah.
that?
You can see my screen, right?
Yes. Hold on a second. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I can see your screen. And I know everyone's not here quite yet, but looking at the stories this week, it looks like there are, I don't know, like maybe 5 or something that are going to be demoable. There's some that I think will be really helpful for everyone to see, for all the devs to see. But I'll send out an invitation for a separate dev demo where maybe we can just kind of more interactively show each other some of these features. Like, for
Yeah.
instance, this is work with Ansible and the staging config
Yes.
would be really cool for everyone to see. But since I'm not going to actually put it in the UAT, it will not be in today's thing. So, cool. All right, Adam, you ready to go?
Yeah. The live rail thing. The only thing that's demoable per se is the this parent placement link,
Okay. Okay.
which links to, if you give it a second, it'll open up the placement that is the tracking pixel for
Oh, cool.
now. Yeah. Where before it was very unclear which placement, because there are multiple video placements the within a campaign, it was unclear which tracking pixel went with which placement.
Cool. So that will appear if something is
It's a video pixel on the video pixels.
awesome.
Every video pixel will have a parent placement link.
Very cool. So will that okay, so just totally unrelated, well, not
Uh-huh.
totally, but kind of unrelated. I noticed that the end date on that is 2050. We're having some where they wouldn't push because that was the end date.
Oh, I didn't.
Um, okay.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't know if that was something that you or someone else had looked at, but I'll find the Jira story for it and follow up
Yeah, that'd be
afterwards.
cool, because I didn't see that when I was testing it, so it may just, I think I fixed that accidentally.
So it will appear for this link that you're talking about.
This parent placement. Yep.
It'll appear if it's ad server 14 and there is an identity or there's something filled out for the DFP tracking pixel.
If it is a tracking pixel,
If it is that, so okay, how is that determined?
it searches through, it does a query on placements where live rail pixel placement ID equals this ID.
Cool, that's what I was expecting. Awesome.
Yeah. So
Cool.
if you give me 1 second, I'll show you the other thing, which is already live, by the way, because it was part of the so this new task here,
Okay.
you see that?
Yeah.
That's just going to go away if you are if you have the sales rep, which I will give myself sales rep role real quick,
Okay.
and then refresh so that you can see is sales rep is 8. Now if you refresh, that has gone away.
Cool.
That's it.
Awesome. And those were your 2 user-facing things for
Yeah.
the iteration. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on just a second here.
Yep.
Okay, so and that negative POs thing is not demoable, right?
No, the negative POs is it was just certain parts were being assigned a network share of 1 rather than when it should have been 0, and I just went in and double checked whether or not it was. If it's being set to 1, it just shouldn't be set.
Cool. And
Yeah.
on
And
the Salesforce story, that stuff is just something that's not going to be visible to the users. Is that right?
Yeah, because it's not going to be demo. It's not going to be demoable because it's QA to QA instance.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, that's just going to be hard. What's going to happen? All it is the Lin stories. The Lin campaigns will now have the same functionality that the FM campaigns do, where changes in platform get pushed back to Salesforce.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's see. Eric, did you have? I see some stuff that looks like it would be demoable, having to do with the IO tracker, and also there's some pub dashboard stuff. I wasn't sure if you were
That
working on that or not.
yeah, that can be closed out. That's just
Okay.
that was actually from a couple weeks ago. But it got
Okay.
moved into the current sprint, so I was able to close it until the sprint became active.
Cool.
And then ended up busy. Yeah, that stuff was demoed a while ago.
Okay. So I have the IO tracker stuff then.
Yes, let me just see if I can pull that up. Here's the link. One sec.
Cool.
Just trying to find the link from last night. Yeah, let me share my screen. Oh, I am.
Yep. Not seen it yet, but I'm sure it's just.
It's weird.
Just take a second.
Switch it.
There we go. I see it now.
Is there a way to set this so it's just my stuff?
Oh, Mike sent out a link for a filter that's just yours. But you know what? Actually, it's the same. It's filter 14901 actually. So if you go up in the URL and change it to 14901, I think it'll do it.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, there you go.
So let's see, show all button. I don't think that's on production yet, so let me show that.
Cool.
It's just, I know there was a request last week from the last UAT
Yeah.
to just get a show all button in so they can see all.
Is this not in QA yet?
It should be. It was going to develop a while ago, so I think it is. No, apparently it isn't. Oh wait, I might be on the wrong branch.
Okay.
Oh, I'm on local. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I was asking.
There we go.
Cool.
Let's see. So basically, let's go to a month of actual data.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, just kidding. Basically, last time we added pagination to the bottom, so the show all button will make it so you should be able to see all the values on one page.
Cool.
And yeah, that's the whole thing, pretty much.
All right.
Pagination.
And
Also, when they download as an Excel, it will always do all values. There's no pagination for the Excel file.
Okay.
You know, I assume that's important too.
Right.
This should be everything. Once it loads. Yeah.
Now on the let's see, it's an IO tracker extend to 2016. What is that? That just
Oh yeah, this was probably going to be a little more tricky to show on QA, but it's basically the idea that we are extending the drop-down menu so it shows 2016 values, since apparently they wanted to see some things start next year. I can't show the actual use of it in QA because QA is not running the cron job, but the other side of it is that cron now automatically runs every night for the next 12 months as opposed to just the current month. On live, actually this is already on production too, by the way, so I can show it there if you want.
Sure.
It's part of a hotfix on Monday. It's only stuff till like March. Yeah. So now all the forecasted campaigns that are based on flights that are scheduled to happen in January will show up here.
Cool.
As opposed to before, where it would only show up to the current month.
So basically, was the fix was not just adding data up to March 2016. It was changing the cron to pull in further data, and now it's visible in there as well. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, I basically changed the script so when there's two ways you can use the script. You can pass a month and a year to it, and it will run for that month, or you can pass nothing. And originally, when you pass nothing, it would run the current month. Now it runs the current month and the next 12 months.
Cool.
So that we'll always have data for the next 12 months, basically. It won't forecast for them yet, just because the forecasting algorithm, or the booked revenue summing, was based on the SOP algorithm, which ignores all flights that don't have data, that don't have impressions. So any forecasted stuff right now won't show booked revenue things, because obviously none of them have impressions yet. So they're just being ignored. We're looking into maybe making that change in the future. I want to talk to Taylor about that a little bit. But yeah, everything came up, and I didn't have time to work on the hotfix for that.
Is that NP 1497 with the include revenue from upcoming flights?
Oh, that's actually something else. I probably should have mentioned that one first. Yeah, that's part of the hotfix too, so that will work on. Will this work? We'll also work on.
Okay, cool.
That was part of the same hotfix on Monday. Now instead of just showing data in the net book revenue for flights that have happened so far, it also pulls the current active media plan from each individual campaign, gets the flights from that media plan, and includes that in the roll-up of net booked revenue.
Cool.
It won't affect any other column, though. So there's just some extra data, extra values extra flights factored into each one of these values now.
Cool.
It only affects like every 51, but still, it's apparently important. And yeah, the next step is to get that to work on flights that haven't happened. Flights that haven't happened yet.
Cool. All right. And then, did you have anything else that? I mean, that's basically looks like the tickets that you had, but didn't include ones that were just open.
I guess the other major thing is the thing that we worked on last night, which is
P1526.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, we updated the Creative API, which pulls in campaigns by creative status, and then allows you to set that status also through the API. So this is Postman. It just works with JSON APIs. So what you can do now, or this sort of existed, but we updated the information that gets passed through, and a couple of new features to it, and then also made it work with the new Media Board Campaigns table, since it was made before the Media Board Campaigns table existed.
Okay.
Basically what it is there's two endpoints. There's the creative campaign list, and there's the start creative campaign list. Just shows you the list of new and revised campaigns based on creative status. So
awesome.
Send this, and you don't need to log in with this, but you do need to send the key via post. This is the key. It's saved in the database. We can change that too if anybody needs it.
Cool. And do you know what's going to be hitting this API?
Taylor knows more about it than I do. It's a creative job start.
Oh, okay. Yep, I know that is. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's live.
Yes, this is live. And it should return a list of campaigns. Then they're rolled up by units, which are extracted from flights. And we also just yesterday added the internal creative output and the option attributes based on if the flights have them or not.
Very nice.
And then you can also change the filter, so you can do like create. I'm not sure if there's any values in the database right now for this, but you can do other creative statuses. By default, it does new and revision, but you can also pull like in progress, and it'll pull creative statuses within progress. And then if you want to set one to in progress, you can do that through the API too, using the start campaign creative. You can pass it an ID and send it, and it only works on certain IDs that already have media board campaigns, so I don't have those off the top of my head.
Right.
I'd have to find one. But basically, it will return the same object about that campaign, and it will just change the status to in progress.
Very cool. Thanks, Eric. Is there? That's probably it then.
I think so. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. Basically, well, I know Chris is on here. So, Chris, it looks like your stuff, so that I see is either stuff that I'm saving for the dev demo, or is not user-facing. Can you think of anything? I wasn't sure what workflow status updates was without delving into it too deep. Is there anything in there or the other tickets that you know of that would be user demoable? Chris?
Sorry, say that.
Okay, let's see. How about?
Hello?
Oh, hey, Chris. Oh, was Mike? Oh, there we go.
No, this is Chris. Sorry.
How's it going? Okay, so sorry, I was just saying. It looks like we're going to do a separate dev demo at some point in the not too distant future. I would say next week, but you're out next week. So I have a few things like the staging platform config.
So the staging platform config is all merged and so forth. That's basically just a couple of ETL a couple of Ansible scripts.
Right.
We now have platform SVG. That's all running.
Right.
And I mentioned, I think I dropped it in engineering yesterday, that I would really like some people to exercise that machine and play with it a little bit and make sure we didn't break anything.
Cool.
Let's see here.
So basically, what I was asking about, or what I was saying is that I didn't know if anything that you had was going to be in the user demo, because.
I do have a couple of things that popped up yesterday afternoon, of all places.
Oh, okay.
And if QA was deployed, I can probably show those real quick.
Yeah, I did QA at about 9.
So I think, did the hotfix get merged last night? It did? Okay, cool. Then in that case, let me see if this is out there. So this did a couple of things.
We can't see your screen yet.
Oh, well, I'm not logged in yet.
Ah.
And you should be able to see my screen. Whoops. Oh, this hasn't been updated yet. This is still doing that. So primarily, the campaign status and search status now have a none option in the media board.
Oh, okay.
They do still require manually shifting. That's apparently something that was requested, but I'm going to be working on that this morning.
You mean making it so it's not purely manual?
Yes.
Okay.
And I only had one for the campaign status. I'm going to try to get that to update to the IO sign, but I'm going to have to do that this morning. It was a little bit more convoluted than what I was expecting yesterday.
Right.
So we have, there's a none option there, and it defaults to none on a brand new record for both of these. Okay?
Cool.
The other item, so this may not come into play for existing records yet, but anything new and anything that the line of business is perturbed on will have the junior account manager assigned. Now there's an oddity with this because this is a Ajax assignment here. So I'm in QA, so if I assign that to that and hit save, the request was to make auto-assign Ronnie Lattimore or Katie Chelsea for the junior AM.
Okay.
Ronnie Lattimore for local, and I think everything else was to Katie Chelsea. So if we change that, this doesn't look like it updated, but it does update because the Ajax doesn't update the field.
Okay.
So it'll assign that to Ronnie Lattimore. That will also trigger tasker assignments and so forth.
So that was triggered whenever you made a change to what? The line of business?
Line of business. It should also do this on brand new created campaigns.
Okay, cool.
So that way, that will facilitate the junior AM auto assign stuff.
Cool.
The trick is, since this is an Ajax update, it doesn't refresh the rest of the page. So to actually see the change, you kind of have to reload the page.
Right.
I may be able to do something with that at a later point, but for right now, it just changes this, and it will also reassign. It should also reassign the tasks that are associated with that.
So basically, if it's line 3, which is the local one, I think, then it's assigned to Ronnie.
That's what the request was.
And then any other is the other? Who is the other junior AM? Sorry.
Katie Chelsea.
Okay. So is that for? Do you say any other line of business goes to her?
The request was national, regional.
Okay.
After a quick conversation with Taylor, it was sort of assumed that meant everything else for the moment.
Cool.
I don't know whether that's actually the way it needs to be. If that needs to be changed, I can do so relatively easily. It's a relatively simple piece of logic.
Right.
But that's what it is currently.
I can hop in real quick, guys. So Federated doesn't need a junior AM because they're actually bypassing our AM team and going directly to our operations. So for now, you could just Tier 2 and Pure Play would be the two that Chelsea is assigned to.
So it says, okay, hold on 1 second. Let me get that where I'm at. I'm trying to update the ticket right quick. Okay. So out of this list, it's, what are the two that are ours?
G1, G6 are Katie Chelsea.
Okay, G1, G6. Perfect.
Yep.
Cool. Now, did you, you said it was a hotfix, so is that in prod now, or is that just...
I believe that's in prod now. It was in the stuff that was done with everything last night.
Cool. All right. So that should be all your user-facing stuff then, I'm assuming?
Let me double check, make sure.
I have search placement.
The search features is still in progress. That's going to be interesting. I think that is everything that I had that was user-facing.
Okay, cool. Let's see then. Let me just update my notes here. Now, did I see Doug on here? Doug's not in yet, right?
I think he's talking with a financial advisor this morning.
Okay, cool. Ed, I saw that you were on here. It looked to me like there was nothing that would be user-facing, except for maybe there's something having to do with Pub Dashboard, but it was in progress still.
From...
I'm looking at the Jira tickets.
From that link you posted with the filter. So one thing there seems user-facing, the Pub Dashboard reporting updates, but that just there's no thing to do on that ticket. It says, work with Eric to clean up Pub Dashboard reports.
Okay.
Nothing has come in yet for that one, I guess.
Cool. So. And so it looks like in terms of other stuff, though, nothing else is going to be user-facing. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. And let's see. Is Taylor on here? I didn't think so. Let's see then. I'll get with Doug later to see if any of his stuff is going to. It sounds like, based on what I know, probably not going to be user-facing, but might be good for that dev demo, which, like I said, will probably not be next week because of people being out, but maybe a week after that. And Shlomo, I don't see anything with his name on in that filter, but it might just be the statuses that stuff was in. Shlomo, do you have anything?
No, I don't have anything to demo now.
Nothing to demo. Okay. All right, then. Does anyone else know of anything else that should be in that demo?
I should have a couple things, actually.
Oh, Mike, why aren't you on my filter? Did you leave your stuff in open? It's fine if you did, but I bet that's probably why.
Well, okay, so one, there's a quick code change that Chris had suggested for FM branded media plan that I need to do still, but once I get that in there, then it should be able to be merged. So I'll get that in today, but I can show that off. And then also, just to kind of piggyback off of what Eric did, I did some of the front end for some of the unit option stuff for internal creative. So
cool.
that should be out there as well.
All right, you can demo it local if it's not in QA yet, and we'll.
That's what I got set up. So FM branded media plan. Let me share my screen here really quick. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, ooh, that was cool.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So basically, there's now an option in the media plan tab to export as FM. So before, say you hit export, and it is exporting, and then we open this up, so on and so forth, get it open, and then you'll see this cool Lin Digital branding, including like ad specs and stuff like that. So, and actually, I went ahead and did PDF too. So if we look at the PDF version, as it's crunching the numbers, you'll see that it also will, so thumbs up, have its own branding as well. So you'll see some tasty header stuff up there. So when you click on export as FM, it'll go through the same process, but leveraging some of the library functions in the PHP-XL class, you can insert different images and have different themes and so on and so forth.
Cool. So, what does that art and science mean there?
I have no idea. It was on the ticket. I'm sure it means something really cool. So and something in the dev demo that we can kind of piggyback into with this is that I leverage the use of the slug in the organization to kind of uniquely identify certain images and things like that, and that might help like grow the idea of having branded skins. But that's something we could talk about
Cool.
at the demo. And then you'll see like in the PDF that it's the same kind of branding up in there. So cool thing is that if we don't want art and science on there, the next change will just be changing the image directly. So
nice.
We won't have to go through too much of a pain to kind of like do it in code. It would really just be like a binary update. So that's what I have locally. Look for that soon in a browser near you.
What about the front-end unit options you mentioned?
That's what I'm working to next. That's on QA right now. So basically, you can add a unit option, and instead, before internal creative would be like right here as its own little kind of a checkbox. Now, when you add a unit, you'll have the option of doing internal creative. So there's also some dependencies. So like for like the leaderboard, you have all these new unit options. So expandable with video, responsive square video, static, etc., etc. So you can do that and then add another one.
Are those just set in the database? Is there any place in the UI that unit options are worked through? Do you know?
It's really just tied. I would say no. When you export and import media plan requests, it will like say, or even like when you duplicate media plan, it will grab those units and duplicate them.
Cool.
So the big thing, and that was kind of like what was pushing for part of what was the push for the project is that having individual internal creative units that kind of help kind of interact more with the, I forgot what it's called, job start or
right.
something. So so that's kind of here's the standard static. And then we save. Then we go here, and then you'll note that the ones that were set as internal has a different color than the one that was set as like not internal. So so you could see that right here. So that's the gist of kind of the UI facing part of this project.
So, how's that set in the database in terms of the?
So there's flight units. It's attached to flight units. So in the database, there's flights, and then there's a separate set of unit types, and then there's also an options like table.
Right.
So whenever we create a new unit for a flight, it gets entered into the flight units table, and that's where we reference the option, and then now we also tell whether or not excuse me, whether or not it's internal or not.
Cool. And do you know of any plans for a backfill for current campaigns to get them in that table, or how will those be?
There's no plan right now. There is because there's a short timeline with this. What we ended up doing was we did not remove the internal creative column on the flights table.
Okay.
So whenever there is in a set of selected units, if one of them is like an internal creative, we just kind of in the background set that.
Right.
So migration-wise, what I had originally planned on doing, and actually it is in the migration right now. So I guess it is now that I think about it.
Oh, okay, good.
Is that basically if it's internal creative, if a flight has internal creative and it has multiple, like one or more units, then it's just going to mark them all as internal creative.
That's what
so that was kind of the what seems like the most sensible way of moving forward with. So
right, it's easier to uncheck a box and for work that you didn't have to do.
Yeah. So
creative.
Yeah. So that's kind of the status of it right now. So there's some other things I need to do with that, but this right now is all out there and live.
Cool. So, is there anything else for the user demo that you know of?
No, I don't think I have anything else user-facing. Or at least I can't remember anything. I was just mainly focusing on these two things.
Awesome. Well, then I think that we're in good shape here in terms of everyone has presented what will be user-facing. If anyone thinks of anything else, just send me a note, and we can follow up this afternoon. Either just demo it to me directly, or just we can include some notes. Because I'm actually not doing a UAT for the users this week. I'm just going to send them notes and possibly a little video or something like that, so they can see what they need to do. It's just not going to be possible schedule-wise. So anyway, thanks everybody. I'll see y'all later.
Thanks.
See you.